You like to stuff animals?
The music not gonna play because Matt's not there to cue it.
Say Stay Podcast.
Usually he plays. I play the intro. He plays the music. So now
Wait,
we
you
got
guys
it
have to
separate.
you guys have to do that manually?
We
Yeah, we're
separated them on
unformatted.
purpose.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Say State Podcast. We are in beautiful Las Vegas where it's freezing cold at CES. And our host this week is none other than himself, Too Loud, Not AI Generated. And as always, I'm the good looking guy to round out the ugliness that is Mr. Alex. What's up, fellas?
What's up, dude?
How's
Oh,
the
man.
weather there?
Freezing. My nips are rock hard right now. But it is amazing. It has just been an absolutely awesome event. Um, as you can tell, I lost my voice. I went inside and get rid of some of this noise. Um, we have been just nonstop going. It's been insane. So it's just been we go from beginning. We waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and get going and just seeing so much stuff and learn so much cool things. It's just been an amazing event, and it kills me that you're not here, Gigi. I think next year, if you tell us again that you're too good to hang out with us here, I might not be able to be your buddy anymore, bro. Because I feel like if you were here, we definitely could have got you arrested. We definitely could have.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Yeah. It's just absolute blast. So, I mean, just let me tell you right off the bat, and I don't know, I'm not speaking for too loud, but for me to highlight Game Serve is, I don't think anybody's going to beat Game Serve in the next coming year. I mean, we're at CES 2026, and I'm telling you, Game Serve was the best booth in the entire show. Insane the stuff that they have. And I'm not trying to steal Clef's thunder, but wait till you see what they got. Oh my God. So cool. There's so many innovations. We walked in one morning and this guy had this tiny little like 6-inch robot that's fully automated walking around with big Donald Duck shoes on. Hysterical, man. I mean, just a blast, man. But I don't know. I don't want to steal all the thunder, man. Tell us what you think, Jula.
Oh no, talk for a moment. I'm just passing some links out to some friends real quick.
Yeah. All right. So, just everything from we got to spend time with Asus, Lenovo. We got to spend time with company Ace Magic. That's a mini PC company. I mean, the list goes on and the stuff that we saw and we
We
got to
walked
see.
from that way.
And I mean, so you guys know I'm a fat guy, right? I'm a fat guy for a reason. Man, this man has had me walking like 25,000 steps a day. My feet hurt. The hair on the back of my head hurts. I mean, I'm exhausted, but it's just been a blast. I mean, it's been so cool to be here. It's just, I don't know, man. So we got, we're safe state. We're all family with everybody, with RH and Handheld United. And we got to spend time with Nelly and Trevor from OK's Gamer. And it's just been, and Steve from Silicon Fox and Monto, who should be joining us from Monto Tech, and Russ and ETA. I mean, the name, not trying to name drop, but everybody that's in our niche that is fun to watch, it's been there. And it's just been an absolute blast, man. Everybody was so nice. That's why I'm bent out of shape that Gigi's not here, because we need his meanness to even it out. You know what I mean? But it just
Go out the door. It's right next to
no,
the
actually, Nelly, who's probably I thought was one of the sweetest people I ever met, scared the bejesus out of me today, and I was so mad at her. We're
Hey,
going
man,
to pick
come
her
on.
up, and I'm looking for her, and I popped up, and she's like screaming in the side of my car. I almost pissed my pants. Monto, I'm pretty sure had an accident in his pants when she did that. So and
Welcome,
then
We had
Monto.
to switch cars after. No, no.
God, yeah, and then
Yeah.
something that probably the biggest takeaway for me is that don't ever go anywhere and let Too Loud drive. That man is a maniac behind the wheel. That man is I mean, Listen, I had to go buy new shorts.
First of all,
I had to go buy
hold
new
on, hold
drawers.
on.
It was,
All right, you
bro.
talked enough. You talked enough. I'm gonna tell you. First of all, Matt's full of crap. He's the worst driver I ever met in my life. Like, he road rages, he cuts people off, he drives insane, and he thinks that the little car he's driving is like an F1 car. So that's hilarious. And yeah, Nelly
Not
did scare the
wrong.
crap out of us earlier today, which was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
GameSir definitely had the best peripherals of the show. Asus had the best devices.
Yes.
Um,
Oh my gosh, those laptops. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Insane.
GameStar snapped. Asus had some crazy stuff.
oh, Ace Magic, dude. Ace
Yes,
Magic
Ace
mini
oh my
PCs,
gosh.
bro. I never
Insane.
thought I would name drop that company. Yet, dude, they killed it with this retro line of mini PCs. Absolutely insane. HX 470s, gorgeous, gorgeous design and aesthetic. One of them
Oh
is
my God.
like a mini NES. One of them is like a mini PS1. Like,
Yeah.
freaking gorgeous, dude.
And
Gorgeous.
then,
They said,
and the cherry on top, MCon.
Oh my gosh.
dude, we got to chat with Josh from MCon, which was amazing, dude. It was sick. Like, he's so enthusiastic. He's so passionate about what he's doing. He loves it. Like, he gave us sneak peeks of his new devices that are not released yet, the MCon Slim. And what was the second one called?
The light.
The
MCon
Light.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Insane. And you know what? I was so impressed with how well spoken and how enthusiastic. This kid is 21. He's gonna be 22 next week. And I mean the level of detail and effort and thought he put into his stuff, I mean, incredible. I was on the fence about the NCons initially, but just after seeing them in hand and talking to this kid, I wanted to throw money at him right then and there and buy him. And so impressive.
It's not
Amazing,
that kind.
man.
It wasn't that kind of.
Oh,
that kind
and it was
of
gonna be
event.
all dollar bills, and I was gonna be like, "Where's the glizzies?" You know, it was crazy, man.
No, Josh is a badass, and I love what he's doing. So the original MCon is a bit of a contentious project right now. I know that a lot of people are really looking at that price tag, looking at the product. It's bulky, blah blah blah, and you know it's too expensive to all of that. These upcoming prototypes that he showcased us today have really take his idea to the next level.
Leveled the landscape completely.
Yeah, and they give more options, and I really think that he's striking while the iron's hot. And so we don't know when exactly they're gonna come to market, but the price points are pretty, or the ballpark price points
Matt, we're walking in.
are about $60 to $70 for the cheapest model, for the light model with the 3DS sliders, and they're Hall effect 3DS sliders with larger like caps.
They're like probably twice the size of the 3DS ones, or even the original retro pockets.
Yeah, jumbo size.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And we also have analog triggers for the L2, R2 on the back. But instead of your traditional analog triggers, in order to keep the slim profile, they press down along the back. It's very cool. Like, you can tell that it's all he thinks about. It's just trying to make these controllers better and do more. And then with the touchpad one, that's the one step up. That's the slim. It's like, I forget if it was 5 or 6 millimeters, but it's thin. Has touchpads, but they're little dishes. And yeah, okay, we can see them here. So the 3DS slider one, that's the cheapest model. It's about twice as thick as the slim one, and it's still pretty damn thin. So that just puts into perspective how thin the slim one is. So that one right there, what they're using, that's the regular MCon. Man, I could yap about MCon all day, but it's trying to speed round through it. The touchpads are dishes, so they're not like flat touchpads. They're kind of textured dishes, and they also have L3 and R3.
Yes, texture dishes. And when
So
I got to hold that and play with that, and when you were, people have a hang up about touchpads. Like Monto said, it's not a traditional, it's a bowl shape.
it's a bowl.
You could put your hand on that touchpad and immediately tell where it was. So well thought out, man. I mean, the kid is a rock star, man. I can't wait to get my hands on these.
Yeah, they're so sick. And the getting our hands like the slim model is shockingly slim, and it's one of those. It gets us one step closer to that full like keep it on your phone kind of controller. It's so slim that it's one of those like you might actually keep this on your phone and then be able to game anywhere with the full sized controller. So
Hey, real quick. So look, without any filters on, you see how genuinely ugly he actually is. You see, AI filters, baby. What a world of a difference.
All right,
I'm
while
so
you guys
fly.
are gushing over MCon and not Alex's looks, we got the Saints here in the chat here wanting to praise you there, Monto. So don't miss that message.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yo,
Yes, sir.
sorry. I had the YouTube chat covering that.
This is why I said
little
this
area.
is why I said you got to stop gushing about MCon. This is not the MCon show.
Hey,
It's the
I'm gonna
CES.
start gushing over the
Yeah, he
the
said
Saint, at the Saints.
Yeah,
Hey,
there you go. Okay.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Thanks for the love, man.
I'm old. I
Dude,
can't see what
Josh,
the Saints
I don't
say.
know if Josh was blowing smoke, but he also like he was like, I might recognize you. And I was like, dude, I'm the one recognizing you, Josh. Like Josh is he's such a down to earth dude. Just really good vibes. And I hate seeing all the hate towards MCon because they're pushing the envelope. And while they might, yeah, White Castle sliders, they're pushing the envelope for mobile controllers. And they're doing it in an innovative way that's exciting. And it's not something that I don't know. I think that there's a lot that these two models right here are pretty promising. If they can hit the price points, those price points. Because obviously when you get to the 150 to 200 range, it gets to be a hard sell. But that I think if they can do the slim for 100, man, it's going to be something good. So I'm stoked on that.
Yeah. Can I go back to the mini PCs that Alex was talking about?
Oh yeah,
real
we
quick?
can.
Here, let's
Let's talk about it, bro.
Yes.
There's a couple there. You can see them at the bottom there.
Yeah. Let's see if we can punch in on that. So let's start off quickly and touch on the one to the left there, the 03 model. Too Loud and Jedi you guys got a better look at that than I did.
Insane. Like these guys, they're already lining up to come for the Steam box. This thing is a beast. It had a 395 in it. I think the base model was 32 gigs of RAM. I don't know what GPU it had in it, but it was a beast and it looks incredible. So awesome. I don't remember the price point on it, but it was super incredible.
Cool. Very cool. One thing I wanted to just tell the audience here to just kind of pay attention. There's this thing here, the tank. This is like maybe the third or fourth iteration of this thing. So, it's cool because they can fit like a whole dedicated GPU in there. But the one catch is on their previous ones, which had like a 4060 and I think up to even like a 4070, it didn't communicate directly with the board. So you actually can't get VRR when you do video out. So that's hopefully they fix that, because that's like a big no for spending, like the big bucks on something like that.
That's interesting.
Did I call it the tank or the Titan? I'm sorry, I meant to call it the tank. I called it the Titan.
Oh no. I was just like referring to this. And like this one here on the right too, this is like maybe like a third or fourth iteration of this like NES looking one. I've never seen this before.
Yes.
And I think this company has like strong ties with Cam Rui, I think is the mini PC company. So yeah, this company
there's Cam Rui branding like at the bottom of some stuff. Yeah, they definitely.
So like it's like a subsidiary or sister or whatever. And this company also had like some bad history with like spyware or whatever. But if you're buying any of these mini PCs, it's always like a good idea to just do a fresh install, and you don't have to like worry about that. So that's like just that. What else, guys? What else did you find interesting?
So I want to talk about GameSir.
Hmm.
I'm about to. I'm gonna give GameSir the MCon treatment. A little bit of
do it. Jump
little
on.
bit of glazing.
Clef can't be the only one glazing them. Go ahead.
Listen, so they have earned some justified glazing because they had a lot of super interesting stuff. The first one that we saw,
it was amazing.
It was yeah. I'm not a big controller aficionado, or even when it comes to telescopic controllers, regular traditional controllers, mobile controllers. None of those. I just kind of find one and see if it's good. If it's not, whatever. I don't go out of my way to try all of them. But GameSir had some pretty interesting stuff. The first one here, this one I think is already out, but this is like a new colorway. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, it's the G7 Pro, which is a collab with AIM Labs.
Yeah, so I got to check that one out. It looks pretty sweet in person. It was it's the G7, pretty comfortable overall. The first one that I want to talk about is the mobile controller, the Pocket Taco. And
oh my God.
The Pocket Taco, you can see them using it right there. If you scroll up, that's that little nugget right there. That's the Pocket Taco, or the Pocket One. They're a little bit. They have a little bit of a name crisis right now, but it's a mobile controller that's shaped like a taco, and your phone is the meat and rice. It goes right in the middle, and it connects via Bluetooth.
You Massachusetts people weird. The term is meat and potatoes, not meat and rice.
Sure. Whatever.
I have no idea what you said. You sounded super AI generated there, bro. I have no idea.
He's getting caught up on what should go in the taco. What goes in the taco is your phone. That's all we need. Yeah. But it connects via Bluetooth, and it has L1, LR1 and 2. It has both the 4 shoulder buttons on the back there. It has, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it has membrane buttons on front. Very retro feeling, very classic. It's surprisingly comfortable, and it doesn't feel too like top heavy or any of that weirdness. So I got my hands on that. That was pretty sweet. Too Loud also got his hands on one, and they might have let him keep it.
No.
TBD. So that was a pretty cool one to just start off with. I also got a chance to check out the 8-Bit Dough Flip Pad, which is sort of the 8-Bit Dough version of that. I was less excited about it because it connects via USB-C, and it has the 4 shoulder buttons on the front as regular buttons. So it was a little bit of a compromise in my opinion. But GameSir's Pocket Taco is nice. The next one that we should talk about is the wheel controller. I don't know if you saw that, but they have this controller with the wheel.
Put some respect on it. It's called the Swift Drive.
The Swift Drive.
For me, that was the highlight. One of the 2 biggest highlights of all of CES, and it was the Swift Drive.
The Swift Drive is badass.
Oh my God! Let me tell you, this controller. I'm sorry, Mom. I don't mean to steal your thunder, but I'm too excited. I can't.
Hit it, man.
This controller. So it feels like a tarantula, right? And I love the tarantula, but they stuck a haptic feedback wheel on it, and it seemed kind of gimmicky until I got my hands on it and we started playing. When I tell you that you can drive when you're driving, if you hit a wall or you hit a boulder, the kickback on the steering wheel is like driving a real car. To the point where I tried to turn the wheels with my hand and I couldn't turn it. And the developer came over and said to me, because it's like not having power steering, you have to hit the gas pedal. It was the coolest thing, man. And then when I hit the gas pedal, turn. I mean, and then there's little sticks on the side there where you can actually, like if you're playing GTA, you can get out and still run the character so well thought out and engineered, like super comfortable. I mean, I can't express how cool this thing was. Absolutely awesome device.
Yeah, it's really sick, and it also has a
Yo,
super
so-
interesting texture too. Oh yeah, hit it too loud. Talk about it.
Yeah. All right. Really quick. So of course the model we were looking at was a prototype, right? It's not fully finished yet. It's not fully flushed out, but it is really cool. I think it's gonna bring racing games back, you know, and even games like GTA where you're like partially driving, because like Jedi mentioned, there are two little small nub joysticks on either side of
You
the
can see
steering
those
wheel.
little nubs there.
Yeah, and it just feels so cool while you're driving. Like I'm excited. GameSir really killed it this time with the devices, with their controllers that they're coming out with. Not only
Mhm.
this one, I mean the Hyperkin, which we haven't talked about yet, I don't think. But we can talk about that one next.
Yeah, let's
But-
talk about that next. I just want to wrap
Wait,
up.
did you guys also hear that this thing might have different like wheel like covers? Like they might let you
Oh,
actually customize
that
the front.
sounds
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
That'd be
They hadn't
amazing.
showcased that for us there
Yeah,
at the
right.
show.
This is I got this from the GameSir live stream.
Hell yeah. So
Yeah.
so if you look closely on that wheel, you can see it has a different texture compared to everything else there. And I'm trying to figure out the right way to describe it. It's like a rubbery, grippy texture that's different than anything on other controllers. It felt
You
like
know,
a
Hold on.
wheel.
You know-
It was like
you know-
weird.
Yeah. You know how like you get a steering wheel in some cars, especially like maybe, import cars or tuner cars, and it's got that kind of rubber texture to it. That's what it felt like to me.
It had good grip to it.
Yes.
And then you have that red marker in the center, and in the demo that was on the wheel, so you could kind of center yourself as you're driving. It was a first person thing. You could change the views. It was a really cool demo, and the haptics on it was also pretty impressive. It had a lot of low thumps to it. It had big thumps and also good definition in the lighter haptics. So it was a pretty immersive experience to have the haptics with the wheel.
I just want to clarify something.
that
That wasn't a demo. They were playing BeamNG.
Oh, it was BeamNG. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
a
BeamNG.
level they designed in BeamNG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, I have to say, normally I don't agree with Michael Benny just because he's Michael Benny, but like he says he might want to use that wheel to scrub footage when editing. I didn't
That's
even think
hysterical. That's
you-
awesome.
you know what? You might actually be able to use that
Keep that
That
on
may
your
be
desktop.
genius, actually.
Yeah.
You know,
That
Use
may
it as
be
a macro.
genius, dude.
as a macro pad, right? And use like the face buttons as like cut and like paste.
I
and
love
all
that
That
idea.
may
That's so
actually be
good.
genius, dude.
That's
you know,
fun.
that's some galaxy brain right there. Yeah,
Big brain from
Yeah.
Michael Benny.
yeah.
Yeah, so this one's the Swift Drive is a pretty
Right.
exciting one.
Yeah, I'm
now-
excited for that too.
Now we obviously have to talk about the Hyperkin collab. Yes.
Hey, really quick, before we jump into it, because
Mhm.
this is super exciting, but I just want to mention to everybody, thank you for hanging with us, because me and Matt are out on the town with our wives, so we know there is going to be a little background noise that bleeds through, so we appreciate y'all. You know, we're in Vegas, we leave tomorrow, so we did have to hang a little bit with our other halves tonight, and but we're super excited, and that's why we still had to host a podcast tonight. Thank you, GG, for coming through and saving the day, dude. You're a monster. Thank you.
Say,
And
say,
so
Back
just
to
for
the
the record,
Hyperkin, dude.
Just for the record,
Yeah.
I wanted to hang out with our wives all week, and Too Loud said nope, nope,
There it is.
nope, nope. CES is more important. I'm just putting that out there. It has nothing to do with it that they're probably watching.
Yep. All right, and speaking of which, yeah, GameSir's cooking. So tell us what they're cooking with this Hyperkin.
GameSir is cooking. So
Dude.
you see this controller, right? It looks a little interesting. You kind of see those vague outlines around the controller areas. So you might suspect, and you were suspecting correctly, that this is a modular, telescopic mobile controller. And that's a pretty new thing. It's a pretty interesting proposition, because you can not only swap out the modules for different designs, different if you like dome switch, if you like mechanical switch, if you like your classic membrane or fighting dish pad stuff. You can swap those out, but if you look closely, you can also see that they're symmetrical. So the 8 shape, you can flip them upside down. So you can do analog stick on top or bottom on both sides if you want. And so obviously this is a GameCube style that we're looking at. So I had to commit the ultimate sin, and I flipped the GameCube controller upside down for the first time ever when I was messing around with it. And then they also had on display the N64 buttons. And yeah, you see that there. Well, look at that. So they had the N64 buttons. And so I got a little too excited. I popped out the GameCube one and I said, Nintendo 64, and then I shoved it in. And as I was shoving it in, the guy's like, "Oh no!" And then I fully crammed it in, and he was like, "Oh, it's a prototype. We have to pry it out now because they don't have the pop out designs on the back yet." So he pulled out an iFixit kit and just pried it out as I'm standing there, just watching him.
Monto's underplaying it. The guy cried. The developer of that cried. Monto
Yeah. Especially when he said 64, right? Because he was talking too loud.
Yeah. So while we're still
At
talking
least he
about
didn't
games,
say
sir,
6'7".
6'7". Monto Benny's 6'7". So while we're still talking about it, and I don't know if you're going to be able to find this on the net, so GameSir is working on, and they partnered with Titan Haptics, and they're working with a new type of motor for haptic feedback in their controllers, and they had it installed in the Nova Pro too. Can I tell you, insane? Like it's
I don't know if you remember. It's called LMR, linear magnetic RAM.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to last and be better than Hall Effect, and it gives us like Switch 2 haptics, but better. It's insane.
So much more.
Tell them about the footsteps. Tell them about the footsteps when you walk them.
So it's essentially the Pro Rumble, your classic like high definition Rumble, but with so much more kick to it. It has way more kick in those lower frequency rumbles, so it's got more oomph, and it has the kick of a high strength rumble, but it has the definition of your high fidelity rumble. So the footsteps are more defined, the small rumbles, the small like haptics, and then the pulling the trigger and firing a laser gun or firing a big heavy machine gun. It has the thump that you're looking for. So it was a lot more immersive than I was expecting, coming from traditional rumbles. I am a bit of a rumble head, so I'm always ready to rumble. So getting my hands on this LMR technology rumble, it was pretty cool. I was pretty happy with the demo. I think it was Borderlands, the new Borderlands, right? And it felt pretty good. It was pretty impressive. Yeah.
Borderlands 4. Yep.
Yeah, you can check out some of the nitty gritty here. They had some cool demo showcase demo of the vibration stuff. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just know what I was feeling.
We have me, Monto, and Jedi all have video footage on these devices. We'll be releasing videos in the coming days. It's just been really hectic. I know my boy Monto's back now editing some stuff up. So you'll be able to catch this stuff on Monto, Jedi, and my channel here in the coming days for more in-depth and actual video usage of the devices.
You want to switch gears and talk about one of Gigi's favorite things?
Whoa. What is that?
1X player, you dirty old man.
1X player. 1X player.
So that booth, I mean, and I know this is probably like blasphemous. I mean, it was only second to GameSir and just barely second to GameSir because GameSir is so innovation. But the that booth was insane. And we got hands on with the Apex, and wow. I mean, it just everything from the ergonomics to the feel to the software to how quiet a device that powerful is to how insanely light and it is without the battery pack on. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stop telling you how incredible this device is. We
The Apex
actually
is badass.
we got to the point where the reps were there and T Loud Monto and I were talking to a guy, like telling him about the device, and the rep stepped away and walked away. And then T Loud had what was it, the G1 or something? And you know, somebody walked up and they asked him, and he was talking to him, and the rep was like, "You guys got this." We spent so much time with them. It was an absolute blast. They're so welcoming and just and the experience was spectacular. And they're that I can't tell you that Apex. I'm like I gotta have it. It's just so good. I mean, every single thing about it, the D-pad, the sticks. I mean,
Check
just
out the
so
IO there.
Oh my gosh, amazing! And even though that battery is a brick, very well balanced with
Yeah.
the battery pack.
So-
Really
so-
well balanced.
You can see that that's the battery pack, the jet pack there with the kickstand built into the battery pack. And as soon as you take that battery off, it feels like the battery is heavier than the handheld itself. So if you can put that into perspective, the handheld is I need a scale to check the numbers on that, but it's almost as if the handheld is less than half the weight as soon as you take that battery off. And I think that they have some kind of tether that you can do similar to GPD with the Win 5. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that they have a cable that you can connect from the battery to the handheld.
They do.
And
They do. That's correct.
okay, yeah. So that allows for a super light x86 handheld that's very powerful too, and also surprisingly like ergonomic and it has all that IO. It's
Also,
really
shocker, lighter than the Switch 2 without the battery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
so
really good.
there's two videos from our friends OKS Gamer and Nelly at Gaming Repairs. They did a little bit of like
Yep,
overview.
we can link
on-
those in the
on these.
description. Good,
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
And
Still
And,
like Thunder. Silicon Fox is working on one too. So you're gonna
Yep.
have all kinds of content next couple of days from. So we were there with OKS Gamer, Gaming Repairs and Nelly, Silicon Fox, and we got to spend some great time with that. And there's gonna be a bunch of slew of videos. So and I'm not chilling here, but you guys watching between Monto, Too Loud, myself, and the guys at HU, it's everything you're gonna need to see about it. And it's so good. I can't, I'm just so excited for you guys to see this. I mean, it's just so impressed with it. And I don't know, I definitely, as far as handhelds, probably the best one I saw at the event was
Real-
the Apex. Not probably. it
real
was.
quick, Matt. Would you say it's the apex of handhelds? Yeah.
Absolutely.
He can't leave right now, guys, because he's on his
Hey.
phone. He can't leave.
So
We'll get to the Super X next, Michael.
So
We'll
to
get
put
the
it into
Super X next.
perspective too, I've the only other 1X thing that I've had any experience with was the 1X Sugar One, and
Monto, bro, you sleeping on
I'm
1X.
sleeping
That is
and
the wrong device.
I was
That is the
sleeping.
wrong
So
device
so
for
I
it.
was just confused
You were
as to
big
what
time
they were
confused.
doing there.
You were big
And
time confused.
then I checked out the booth here, and I got my hands on all of their other stuff.
Yeah.
And
Tell us
man, this was another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was
Tell us about the Frostbay. Tell us about the Frostbay.
the Frostbay. So yeah, you can see that we got the cables going to the I think what is that, the Super X, is that the over
Yeah,
there?
it was plugged into Super.
Yeah, it's so cool, man, to have a little water cooling thing going on. Ooh, yeah. I'll let you guys talk about
Well,
it.
looking at this here, this looks like one of these cables goes to the Super X to power it. One of them is the water cooling pipe, and then the other is to plug in to charge the Frostbite.
Right on the head,
Sound right?
GG. Absolutely correct. Correct. Yep.
Computer vision was upgraded. So yeah. Yeah, tell us about
I
this.
see.
How was the temps on it from what you saw?
So from what we saw, I think that thing was keeping it. I want to say under 60 degrees Celsius.
Mm,
I think it was keeping it
really
under
nice.
60 degrees Celsius. It was pretty insane.
Really nice.
And
And
when I looked at it, it was under 60, and it was running with Miles Morales. It was running.
yeah.
It was running Miles Morales at like full frames.
Nice. So there's one thing about this though, that I think probably the audience would be interested in. There's not a lot of there's not a like these pictures are not great angles. Like tell us about like the size of this thing. Like,
So
relative.
It's
probably
compact.
yeah, it's compact.
Um,
Think of like a cable modem, right? Everybody's got it in there. It's about the size of a smaller cable modem. Or you know what it's the size of? A Wii U. Think about the size of about a Wii U.
Wow, that's actually pretty small.
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
thicker, bit thicker, but height and dimensions of the Wii U. Too
Wow.
Loud just pointed out something. So something that we found out that I didn't know, neither one of us knew. That's a great picture. So if you order the Super X or the Apex without the Frostbite model or the water cool model, you cannot get that later on. So if you
yes,
plan
that's
on
right.
doing water cool, you have to
Yes.
order it in that.
Yeah, they have two
configuration.
versions. You're right. They have the
Yeah,
air cooled
so-
version, and then they have the liquid cooled.
It's like
version,
this.
correct.
It's like this. It's pretty compact overall. It was surprisingly like small and portable.
As far as temps, I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was running at 90 or
Wait,
even 100
Monto,
watts.
that again, Monto?
It was sort of like this. This is
Okay.
just what I have
Yeah.
on hand.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit narrower, but that's about right.
Yeah, a little slimmer.
That's pretty small and actually
Yeah.
kind of portable. Really.
Think like a little bit slimmer than that, but in terms of like portability, it's compact. Yeah, you
I mean,
can
so
see
that-
next to the Super.
Yeah,
X
that's
there.
smaller. That's smaller than most small form factor PCs. So yeah, this could definitely, if you don't have a lot of space on your desk, like you don't need a whole lot for this. Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there was also a little bit of concern from the community about like the length of the cabling, particularly
not
the
very
pipes.
long.
Yeah, but I believe one X player has stated that they're investigating like increasing the length, so having like different lengths for the tubing. So hopefully
So
they get around to that.
there's the thing there, basic. What's the word I'm looking for? Like engineering. It's probably not the right word, but you got to keep in mind if they make that cable too long, it will impact the efficiency of the cooling because it takes longer to get the fluid through. It takes longer to cool it. So if you want water cooling, you have to have a limit. Just like on a water cool PC, the millimeters length of the cable has to be a maximum length. So you gotta, you're not going to be able to plug this thing on the kitchen counter and go sit on the couch and have it work efficiently. So you got to set your
100%.
expectations accordingly.
Yeah, 100% right. It's the same as like if you're going to use an eGPU, like they have a certain limited length. Like you can't go further than that because the signal is going to degrade.
Yeah, and also, Tula pointed out a great point. They're narrower hoses, and that has to do with pressure and stuff. That has to be forced. It's pressure that has to be forced through. You can't put too wide of a hose too. But that's all engineering, right? And it's designed for a thing. But so yeah, I get that about the concern about longer. It's long enough that you can, put it maybe on a coffee table right next to you or an end table right next to you and play it, but not much more than that. And I don't think if you expect real performance, you can expect it to be much more than that. So you gotta, educate yourself on that before you commit to it because it's not a cheap commitment, right? But it's if it's what you think you want and you want it and you're willing to do it, you won't be disappointed. I mean, just a stellar device and experience. So I mean,
I think it's great. I think it's great for a desktop replacement setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell us about like the Super X and the other super device they announced?
I think, okay, first of all,
I mean, I
I'm a
could
little
tell
bit
you if you
concerned.
want.
One of the super devices, I believe, is still under embargo.
It's not. It's not.
I was told it
I'll
was
tell.
today. Okay, you do that. You do that.
I will tell it. Yes, sir. Okay, so we're looking at the Super X, which is already up, and this has our
and I wasn't talking about
Halo.
the X, just to be specific.
I know. Yep. And so we can see here that This thing has a Strix Halo device or APU inside of it. And so it should be just as performant as, a Z13, should be just as performant as GPD Win 5, as well as the Apex that we were just looking at. So this thing plugs in and it works with the Frostbay cooler that we were just talking about. Okay, so yeah, it's I'm sure people are excited about that, especially for like a desktop replacement setup.
On both of them, just quickly on both of them, I ran a Cyberpunk benchmark on ultra settings, and it came out around 70 FPS both times, and that's on ultra, just fully maxed out. So it was pretty impressive.
Wow, that's that's really cool. Okay. Yeah. And so for people who were looking for an alternative to the Super X, they wanted like a same type of form factor. Maybe they didn't want the Strix Halo in there or whatever. So they did also announce the Super V. So you can see here, this has a Panther Lake chip in it. Now, not all the details are in there about this, and probably Too Loud was talking about some of it is under embargo, but this stuff here is public information as to like what is speculated in terms of its overall performance. I would assume that I think based on all the information we have, the Super X is still going to outperform this thing because of that's just how powerful the Strix Halo APU is. However, like if you're looking for somewhere like a little, like a bit under, maybe you're planning to operate just in like 30 watts range or something like that. That's where this thing might actually beat out a Strix Halo device. So, or get like super close to it. So, we're going to have to see about that. That'll be interesting. But yeah, you have an alternative, super device, I guess, also with a 14-inch OLED panel.
Yeah, the 14-inch OLED is really nice too. I'm not super deep in the x86 world when it comes to both handhelds and tablets, but seeing that up close and getting my hands on it, it's a really solid package, and it also has that kind of cherry on top with the water cooling with the cooling pipes that you can jack into. It's pretty cool. It's a really interesting proposition, especially having both of those options, the Intel or AMD version.
Yep. And for the people who are made of money and you don't really care about the prices, you actually only need one of those Frostbay AIOs that we were talking about, and it'll work with all of these devices. Like it'll work with the Super X, it'll work with the Super V, and it'll work with the Apex too. So I mean, there's actually a realistic possibility that, let's say, they go and refresh what we've been talking about on Handhelds United, which is an X1, and they put like something else. If they refresh the X1 and they put like a liquid, the liquid cooling pump in there or something like that, there's a possibility that Frostbay would also work with this, with that future device too. So it's kind of cool that they're allowing for that, and letting people pick their kind of bundle, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it's a really cool ecosystem. And just driving home that the Apex has that removable battery and the cable as well. So it's super modular. Like they're taking a very modular approach. So I was a little I wasn't in the loop, no pun intended, in the loop.
Yeah.
But with 1X player before CES.
Oh, we're gonna have to bring you up to speed. We're gonna have to get you on Handhelds United podcast too.
Yeah, so, man, get me in the mix.
Yes.
I'm
we're
a
talking
believer
about the 1X player family of devices.
Yeah, I'm a believer after seeing what they
is
brought to the table.
Is the thing on embargo? Okay. So they announced the new eGPU. It's
yes.
The what is it? The 3?
The 1X GPU 3. The 1X GPU 3.
Did you see it?
Yes, sir.
Have you covered 97?
We've not talked about it. Yes, but we can talk about it.
Oh my gosh. So I know Nelly and Too Loud definitely have the video that they're working on it, because I saw them recording.
Okay.
So freaking cool. This thing is I would say about the same size as the Frostbay, but maybe narrower. An incredible amount of ports. It doesn't have Thunderbolt 5 in it, but I mean, just 9070 XT. I haven't seen an eGPU with that much power that's that compact. It's just so cool. I'm so excited. Like I've been kind of thinking about tinkering with eGPUs, and I wasn't sure. Now I want to get my hands on this thing. It's got an expansion slot for SSDs. It's got, I mean, any kind of port you can think of. I mean, incredible device, man. I can't tell you how freaking cool One X players experience was without you being there. I mean, it just, you guys that missed out, you're in for a treat, man. It's so good. So good.
Yeah. Just to clarify with you, Matt, I don't think it has expandable storage, does it?
2280, baby. Big old slot.
Oh,
inside,
really? Oh,
2280.
nice. Okay. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, I was when I heard about this, I was
It
I was
definitely
really
does. Right here
enthusiastic.
in this image, right here, GG. If you look
Yeah.
down under the word one, that's
Okay.
a slot right there. A
Oh,
quick
yeah.
access
nice.
slot for a
Nice.
2280.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's really great to hear. It yeah, that's really cool. It looks like they've used like similar design language to the previous 1X GPUs too, but not exactly the same. So, they're not just retooling like an old chassis, like they're kind of at least designing this somewhat from the ground up, which is really nice to see.
It is completely different exterior wise than the 1X
That's right.
GPU too.
Yep. And for reference for people who are, maybe kind of interested in eGPUs like Matt was talking about, this is the first and only 9000 series eGPU in existence. And actually the 1X GPU 2, which had the 7800M, that was the only one of its kind as well. There were, kind of equivalent, kind of more powerful as well eGPUs on the NVIDIA side, right? Because there was like a 4080M, there's a 4090M, but there was nothing in terms of an AMD side eGPU that was more powerful than a 7600M, which is why, like, if you go and do a quick search on Amazon, you'll see like a ton of them. There'll be like from, like a 1X GPU. There will be one from GPD. There's even one from our hated company now, Ioneo. Boss Game. There's tons of them for the 7600M. But there's only the 1X GPU 2 for the 7800M. So it'll be interesting, especially if someone decides to like go with this and it turns out to be like the same thing, history repeating itself. And there's only one 9070 XT. That'll be very interesting. So here's like Video Card's little comparison of the 1X GPU Lite, which they recently released, which is Thunderbolt 5 capable. I believe USB 4.2 it says here. USB 4 version 2. So it's there. I think it's sometimes labeled as Thunderbolt 5. Those are, to be clear, those are different. They use a different controller on the device itself, but bandwidth wise, they should be similar. So here you can see that comparison. The only other thing I will say is, yeah, it is a little disappointing that it isn't USB 4 version 2. That it is, it actually says here to be confirmed, but I did speak to some people on the 1X Player server earlier, and it is USB 4 version 1. So you are still going to get more performance for sure. It's just that you are going to be also a little bit bandwidth limited.
Right. And it also does have OptiLink, which is the nice.
There's that too. Yep. There's that too. Yeah. Oh, so we also got a thing here. Anyone got a price on the CGPU? Well, you know what? That's going to be the other challenge. It's going to be expensive, is what we're saying. Is what I would say. Yeah.
There's been a lot at CES. There's been
I don't
a lot
know
of.
if they released the price yet. Did they mention a price to us?
They've not, but they've not. But I don't think it's going to be. No, it's not, because the 1X GPU 2 was minimum, as you can see here, 1050 basically, and so it was. I would say realistically, if it gets in this range of $1,000, it's actually not bad, just because the desktop variant that you get, when it's like a good price for it is $650 to like $700 ish. So if you're paying for, like the portability and stuff like that, that's kind of just an expectation. Well, if it's more than that, well, yeah, you just got to open up your wallet, sign up for some new credit cards. Yeah. Oh,
wait, you said sign up for some new credit cards.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was trying to unmute that called me off guard.
Cyber Gaming says $1,200. Honestly, I would not be that surprised if it was $1,200. At the same time, like we have to consider like the kind of RAM apocalypse, the RAM, crisis that we're in right now. So like I would actually be in doubt that they can hit this $1,000 price point, right? Because like you have to imagine that 1X player isn't controlling the VRAM on here. Like, and this is going to be made by Samsung or Micron or SK Hynix, one of those companies, and they're controlling the price on that. So if they have to pay AMD, and then AMD has to also pay Micron for the RAM chips, like their profit margins will be pretty slim.
Hey, great segue. So we got to see some new stuff in Minis Forum also, and they have this all-in-one with a 395. Absolutely insane. And we asked about it. Tula was asking about it, and a Minis Forum rep said it's not released yet, and they're holding off on releasing it because they have other devices, and with the RAM issues, they actually are worried that they're not going to be able to provide to the consumers. So they're going to release them one at a time while they can. And also, there was only 128 gig variant because of the RAM, and they were concerned about how that would impact the consumer market. So they didn't think it was ready to hit the market yet because of RAM pricing. Really well thought about as far as the consumers are concerned. And just you said that, and it triggered that conversation we had with her. And I thought it was a good point. You know what I mean? So some of these companies like Minis Forum and the smaller companies are conscious of the situation and trying to, obviously it's not just for the consumer, but they're doing stuff that as us as consumers will help, Tula, do you remember the name of that all-in-one device? The Minis Forum that had the 395 and 120 gigs of RAM? Yeah. Can't think. It was a bare bones. It was so nice, so nicely done. And something else that Minis Forum had while I was talking about GPUs, and it's not a GPU. Yeah, they had a mini GPU. I guess it's not the right term, but it was a GPU. I mean, it was a 9060. And when I say the profile was like
let me find
15 gigs of VRAM, when I say it was like
it was so
5
small.
inches tall or something. It's something new. 16 gig of VRAM, 145 watts TDP. And the thing had triple fans on it, had triple outputs on it. I'm like 4 or 5. He's the smallest GPU I've ever seen. And they have two. They have one with a 9060, and then they have an Intel Arc version that had a B560 or B550 in it. They didn't have a price point on them, but amazing because they're being conscious of, not everybody can afford a GPU. You might have a smaller form factor device that they, can't fit like a full GPU on. Just really cool, man. And
Keyboard for scale
there. And I don't know what the price point on what that's going to be, but really great to see that they're being innovative and they're doing stuff like that for the consumers. So super impressive.
It's
it?
really small.
Yeah, this looks like two slot low profile. Two slot low profile.
And low profile's an understatement, man.
And then there was an Intel one that was one row instead of two, like that one. Okay. And it was.
Monto, you muted, or can I not hear you, brother?
You can't hear. You got to get your hearing aids checked.
You got your hearing aids.
Well,
it filtered me out.
This hands turn's full. Hands turn want to borrow my hearing aids, and I didn't think I needed them for PDF.
Yeah, so this one, so just to talk about this one here, this is listed here as Vasta Arma, but maybe that's like a sub brand of Minis Forum. So the 9060 XT low profile. So the only unfortunate thing that I can tell about this so far is it's probably the 8 gig version. It's highly unlikely that you would see like the 16 gig version of this 9060 XT.
It's 16 gigs. It's 16
Is it really?
It was
confirmed. 16.
Yeah. 16
wow,
gigs,
that's wild.
The rep mentioned
TDP.
16.
That's going to be
expensive. The high TDP was it's a little powerhouse.
Watts.
That's going to be expensive. Yeah. I think this thing is, so the 9060 XT 16 gigabyte, like typical dual fan or triple fan, like a standard size, 2 slot. Usually like a sale price, you can get that maybe like 350 or something like that. I would say if you could find this thing at like, if they price it at like 400, 450, that's probably not unreasonable, just because you're paying for small form factor usually. So Monto, you're telling me about some Intel, some Intel
Yeah,
single
they
slot?
had next to that they had an Intel one that
Oh, okay.
was, I think it was, what was it, 70-watt TDP. I don't know what the actual specific GPU was, but it was half the height of that, and it had one fan instead of three, and it was a lot, and obviously the lower TDP as well. So
I'm guessing it's like it's probably an enterprise board, maybe like an ARC B60 or something like that.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe Matt or Alex knows.
So something else. I don't know if you know this. Did you know Minisform makes peripherals too?
Minisform makes peripherals. No, I didn't know.
Oh
that.
yeah, zoom in. You see that keyboard?
Oh, that's theirs. Okay.
What's that logo? Yep.
I want to
Oh,
say
interesting.
that small card was. I think she said it was a B550.
B550.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we're looking at these mini PCs and stuff, and they're incredible. And Monto realizes, he's like, wait, is that a Minisform monitor? And then I think Tula was like, wait, and that's a Minisform keyboard. And I don't know if you knew they had it, but they had this incredible aluminum keyboard with, I want to say it was like brown tactical switches in it. Amazing. The feel on it and the sleek design. And I know I'm weird. I want the clickiest tactical keyboard you could find. Like, I want my wife to complain about how loud it was because she's downstairs across the house and she can hear me talking. And it felt so good, dude. And it was just, and then Monto, tell him about that keyboard. Weren't you playing like?
Oh yeah,
you
on
playing
the
ZZZ
tablet
or something
okay.
like that.
All right,
With
so
the touch screen on the keyboard on the mini PC. Because it was an ARM mini PC. It was insane, dude. So cool.
So they had the keyboards, and then they had their portable monitors, which are little touchscreen monitors, nothing out of the ordinary. And then they also had an ARM mini PC, and the ARM mini PC was running Genshin Impact, and it was displaying on the portable monitor. So it with the touch controls. So I was playing Genshin Impact on this portable monitor through an ARM mini PC as if it was a tablet. So it was a very just like weird way, roundabout way of playing this game. But it was a cool way of showcasing the versatility that Minis Forum is doing. They have all these different products, and they're all pretty solid quality. I wasn't expecting to see them have so many different peripherals, including the keyboards. Those are new ones too. But yeah, they had a lot to show. So it was a good booth to stop by.
It's very interesting. For me personally, I think like related to like handhelds and like some of the more portable stuff that we often like look at in our circles. I'm a little surprised like we haven't seen like a new Minisform V3. I think a lot of people were actually really like that device, but maybe it just didn't sell that well, which is why like they never did like an HX 370 refresh. It was only 7840U and 8840U. So
to be honest with you, it could have been there and we could have missed it. I mean, we were gushing over the keyboards and the mini GPUs and that all in one. Maybe they had it and we missed it. They had so much stuff there. The mini PC category we went, everywhere we went was amazing. We also saw Geekcom, and they have the world's lightest all metal laptop. I mean, this thing was like, I don't know, man. Comparatively, we saw an Asus laptop that was just as thin, but this Geekcom laptop was just, I don't know, it was a beast, man. It had what did that Geekcom laptop have? It had a model with a 125 and a 185 Intel chip in it, and they were and they were like 14-inch OLED screens. Just really nice devices, man. So I think the smaller market mini PC companies or PC developers are really stepping up their game this year. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen, how the RAM, the increase in RAM prices is going to impact the pricing on this stuff. Because some of it's amazing if it's affordable, but if it's $1,200, then I'm gonna go get an Asus or something.
Yeah, how many of those booths had bring your own RAM? That's what I'm curious about.
None of them. None
None
of
of
them.
I guess they don't want to scare off the people just yet.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. We got some comments here in the chat. There's some excitement. There's some excitement. For
Hey,
Panther.
good point. Too loud just pointed out, like saying about minutes form, they're so concerned about the RAM that some of them, even though they had them on display, told us outright, we're not going to release this yet until the RAM pricing is more reasonable for the consumer
It's
base.
interesting. It's
And
interesting.
minutes form was really good about clarifying that with us.
That's very cool. That's very cool. All right, so we got some comments here in the chat. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to pivot over to Intel. There's some excitement and some hype about Intel and Panther Lake. I think people want some real competition, and they're right to have that competition or to want that competition, because I think once again on Handhelds United, which we talk about on our YouTube channel and on Discord, all these wonderful people are in that Discord server too. So if you are not in there, you're missing out. But looking at Intel, I mean, there were a bunch of announcements and stuff, and the people are talking about like performance and what the expectations were for Intel. Like there's some like preliminary information. They're talking about right now like what the new Intel CPUs are gonna like be able to bring. So they have some custom ones. I'll bring this up on the screen in a second. But if we're looking for like real kind of performance or suggestive performance, what we could see here is like this is Cyberpunk in running in high 1080p native, no for the top one, no scaling or resolution scaling. And then we see like FSR. Now there is some like complete nonsense and shenanigans in here, right? Because they included here 4 times MFG, and if you're like not up with the lingo, this means multi-frame generation, right? So it's 4 times. So for every real frame that gets generated by the game, they insert 4 fake frames or like 4 AI generated frames, and that's how they get like these insanely huge numbers. And like I can't blame Intel entirely for doing this, because Nvidia was the one that kind of pioneered this thing. Then AMD copied them, and now Intel is doing the same thing. Now, one thing that's notable about this is the first iGPU that can do the multi-frame generation. Like, yes, you could, like on all our handhelds and Ryzen handhelds, and I've like been shilling lossless scaling all the time. You can do this with lossless scaling, but this is the first time like you can do it without like an extra app of any kind. So Panther Lake is kind of notable for that. But don't be fooled by like these big numbers, because this improves motion, right? Like things are going to look smoother. It's not going to feel more responsive though, right? So like if you're looking at this too, and you're looking at these numbers like 61 and 173, you don't have to be Asian to know that number is not 4 times, right? Like you can ask ChatGPT if you want. They're all over there. So like it's not 4 times because there's a penalty.
Hold on. You guys see why Too Loud and I wanted GG to run it, right? Is he not perfect for this? Oh my gosh.
It's hilarious.
He has just the right amount of unprofessionalism to be part of the family, bro. We love you, man. That was so good.
Thank you. I don't know what you're talking about, but moving on, there's a performance penalty, right? Which is why you look at these numbers and like, in order to use the frame generation, in order to make those fake frames, like it costs performance. And then it costs performance, and then you get the number multiplied. And that's how you get these things like 173. There's things that can combat that. Like you can use like Radeon anti-lag and NVIDIA reflex and stuff like that. NVIDIA they have XESS LL, I think it is, low latency. So there's that type of thing. So the point is though, I think on handheld, this is going to look pretty incredible. We don't have, go ahead.
So like you mentioned that, super disappointed. I was hoping, you guys know I'm kind of like secretly, like not secretly, but like I'm an Amazon Claw show. I was so hoping to see a Panther Lake Claw. They didn't have one. Asus had some awesome Panther Lake laptops, and I know Too Loud and Silicon Fox Thieves did some reviews on them and got to play with them and got some hands on them, and they look awesome. So I'll let them speak to that. But that Panther Lake chipset looks, I'm really excited, and I love AMD, but it looks like it may wipe the floor with AMD. I'm really curious to see what kind of price points we're looking like on these Panther Lake devices. because great, it wants to throw it AMD, and it's $12,000. That's not realistic for our consumer. But if it wants to throw it AMD and it's $1,000, where the equivalent AMD device is $1,200, then now we're awesome, right? So I really want to see where that goes, because I'm like really curious. But I mean, Silicon Fox Jeeves has got me really excited about these, and I want to see, So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut across you, but I was just thinking. I had that thought, and I'm impulsive. So I had to get it out before I space cadet it on you.
No, it's good. It's good. We did get this. Like, I don't know if you guys were able to attend this show. Like, did you see this? Where I think the interesting thing here is that we see there's like 1X player was mentioned on here, as well as MSI, and we can't see it in here, but GPD, or there it is, GPD actually is mentioned as like, making handhelds. Interestingly, we also got Acer. I wonder if they're actually going to release like, the Nitro Blaze or whatever they're calling it. And, there's some other companies here, which, we've heard of, but like they've never made a handheld before. So it'll be interesting what they do with that. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. There's this is the wrong image. This is actually the right image. So, just so you know, if you know. Okay, so when we're talking about these, they did mention here a dedicated chip, right? So this might be a whole like Z2 Extreme thing all over again. Honestly, it kind of seems like that. Did you guys hear about this? Did you guys see this?
I saw a little bit about it, and that was the impression I got too. That was the first thing I thought was a dedicated some variant of the Ultra 9 that I think it's going to be some kind of a dedicated chip, and super excited about that, because if they can do that and get in that space, I mean, and yes, I'm chilling for them, but competition, it's great, right? They do this and they come up with a chipset and it's the same price or less, or even just the same price. They could be pushing ASUS, who, by the way, just recently made an announcement, said all their prices were going up. They didn't say on what. They didn't say that allies weren't being impacted or anything, or the laps were being impacted, but they said the prices were going up. So it could give them a kick in the butt to say, hey, no, we need to lower our prices. So the competition here, especially if it's tight like that, really helps us as the consumer. And I'm really excited to see that happen, and hope that that's actually what does happen. And also we get a new claw with a Panther. That's what I really ultimately want to see.
That's probably the biggest deal, what you're saying about like the competition and the pricing, right? Because like, especially with all the craziness about the RAM that we just talked about, if there's that, and there's no competition from AMD, they can, like, these companies can literally charge whatever they want, right? And like, we don't have to buy any of this stuff, but it's like, if you want the new stuff, you're not going to have as many choices, right? Yeah. And speaking of the claw, they did actually announce like, not like new colors of claws, right? So I don't know, like they do look cool.
I'm so, listen, these guys, when they first announced the claw A8, they showed us a whole bunch of colors and we got all excited. And then, nobody in Canada can get it. A lot of our community, thankfully, is from Canada, because they're awesome. And apparently Canada is full of nerds, right? So, and I love it. But, they can't get it, and then we can't, I'm sorry, we can't get it here in the US. I know 2 people that have it. One of them had it imported from Asia. I mean, I don't get that. You have a device and you don't make it available to the consumers who want it. I don't understand that business model. And it could be because the RAM